Welcome back to The Explainer. I'm your host, Coach Kobo, and today we're cracking open the playbook, Why Wealth Grows. We're going to toss out all those tired old assumptions and break down the real mechanics of money so clearly that you're going to look at every single dollar from your part-time job in a completely different light. All right, let's get right into it.
So have you ever noticed why some people just seem to stay broke while others keep getting richer? I mean, it's incredibly frustrating to watch, right? A lot of folks just assume it's luck, or maybe a massive starting salary. But really think about it. You see two people working the exact same hours at the exact same job, yet somehow they end up with completely different bank accounts a few years down the line. That difference? It's not an accident. It's a strategy.
Let's ground this in reality for a second. Picture this. Two high school friends, they both just landed the exact same part-time job at the local mall. They're working the exact same shifts, dealing with the same customers, and making the identical hourly wage. On paper, their financial lives are totally equal. But the choices they are about to make are going to send them down two radically different paths.
It all starts with that very first paycheck. You know the exact feeling I'm talking about, right? That direct deposit hits your account or they hand you that paper check and suddenly, boom, you feel rich. But here's the secret most people never learn. The real game doesn't end when you earn the money. The real game begins the exact second that first paycheck drops. Earning the cash, that's just stepping onto the playing field. What our two friends do next will permanently dictate their financial futures.
And here is the ultimate fork in the road. Our first friend takes that hard-earned paycheck and immediately blows it on a trendy gadget. Let's say the absolute newest, most expensive phone out there. They get that quick thrill. But our second friend? They take a totally different route. They take a portion of that exact same paycheck and put it straight into beginner assets. Friend A bought a lifestyle upgrade. Friend B actually bought a piece of their future.
I like to call the first friend's choice melting ice. Melting ice is basically non-productive spending. When you buy things like trendy gadgets, super expensive clothes, or the latest gaming console, it costs you money up front. And the absolute second you take it out of the box, it starts losing value. It is literally melting away your wealth right while you're holding it in your hands.
And that behavior right there locks you into the spending trap. This is where so many people get hopelessly stuck. They earn money from their job, immediately spend it on those lifestyle upgrades, more melting ice, and the value rapidly drops to zero. So what happens next month? Well, they have to work just as hard, earn another paycheck, and repeat the whole cycle. It's like they're running on a treadmill, sweating to stay in the exact same financial spot. Now let's look at the winning path. This is what our second friend focused on. Growing coins. The technical financial term for this is assets. Assets are simply things that generate income long after the initial purchase. Instead of melting away, your money acts like a constantly growing pile of coins. You buy an asset once, and it actually goes to work for you, making you money even while you're fast asleep.
And over time, let me tell you, this creates a huge financial gap. Think back to our two friends. Month after month, friend A is buying melting ice, watching the value of their hard work just disappear. Meanwhile, friend B is stacking those growing coins. At first, the gap between their bank accounts is pretty small, but it gets bigger and bigger every single year until they are quite literally living in two totally different financial realities.
So you might be wondering, how does money actually grow while you sleep? I really want you to think about this and challenge yourself to look beyond just trading your hours for dollars at a part-time job. I mean, you can only work so many hours, right? You need sleep, you have school, you gotta have a life. If your wealth only grows when you are physically clocking in, your wealth has a very, very low ceiling.
The answer to that is what I call a financial superpower: compounding. Compounding is basically the snowball effect of money growing on top of its previous growth. Imagine packing a small snowball and rolling it down a big snowy hill. As it rolls, it picks up more snow, getting bigger and faster. When you buy assets, those assets generate money. Then, that new money generates even more money. Your money starts working for you, picking up size and speed entirely on its own.
Look, giving 100% effort to your part-time job, or really any job, is a fantastic work ethic. I highly encourage it. But let's be real. You cannot physically work at 100% capacity 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You know what can? Your money. Getting your money to put in 100% effort around the clock with 0 days off, that is how real, lasting wealth is actually built.
And honestly, you don't have to look far to see this in action. Let's look at the local business playbook. Think about the really successful local business owners right in your own town. They don't build long-term wealth by emptying the cash register to go buy trendy gadgets. No way.
They take a portion of their profits and they reinvest them right back into their operations. They buy better equipment, they expand their inventory, they use their money to buy assets that are going to make their business even more money tomorrow.
Okay, so how do you actually start doing this yourself? Here is a super simple, non-negotiable routine for setting a monthly savings goal. Step 1, you get that part-time paycheck. Step 2, and listen to me, this is the absolutely critical step. You set a strict percentage aside first. Before you even walk into a store, before you open a browser to shop online, you pay your future self. Step 3, you use whatever's left for living and having fun. If you don't save first, you will literally never have anything left over to buy growing coins. To make this foolproof for you, I've put together a quick locker room checklist for your first assets. Whenever you're about to drop a chunk of money on something substantial, ask yourself these 3 questions. Number 1, does it hold its value? 2, does it have the potential to make me more money? And 3, can it grow over time? If the answer is no, you are probably buying melting ice. If the answer is yes, congratulations, you're looking at an asset.
Now, if you're sitting there wondering where a high school student can even start with just part-time job money, I've got 3 beginner-friendly assets for you. First, basic savings accounts, especially those high-yield ones where your money actually earns decent interest just by sitting there. Second, simple entry-level stocks or index funds that lets you own tiny pieces of really successful companies. And third, small, smart investments. This could literally mean investing in a course or a book that teaches you a new skill so you can earn more later. All of these are highly accessible to you right now.
Building on that, here are my top 3 actionable habits for future wealth that you need to start practicing today. Number 1, consistently learn how assets work. Never stop educating yourself. Number 2, avoid unnecessary debt at all costs. Debt is the exact opposite of compounding. It's a snowball rolling backwards right over you. And number 3, spend your money carefully. Always remember the difference between what you want right this second and what you want for your future.
Let's bring this all together. Getting ahead financially isn't strictly about having some off-the-charts intelligence, and it is certainly not just about landing a massive salary straight out the gate. Think back to our 2 high school friends. They had the exact same income, but ended up in entirely different worlds. Why? Because there are plenty of people out there with huge salaries who are totally broke because just like our first friend, all they buy is melting ice. Wealth is almost entirely about your money management strategy and your dedication to acquiring assets, just like our second friend.
I want you to look at your own life right now. Look at your own part-time paycheck and ask yourself honestly, are you building things that can grow financially over time? Every single time you tap your card, you're making a choice. You are either feeding that spending trap or you are planting a seed that's going to grow while you sleep. So, will you be the friend who melts their hard work away or the friend who buys their future? The long-term impact of your daily choices is entirely up to you.
And that officially wraps up our game plan for today's explainer. Remember, building wealth is a marathon, and now you've got the exact playbook you need to get started. If you want to keep mastering the real rules of the money game, be sure to hit subscribe to Deez Finance. Keep learning, keep avoiding that melting ice, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.